Welcome back, everyone. With me now, I have Peter Nählstedt, CEO of SenzaGen. A warm welcome, Peter. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, David. So my name is Peter Nählstedt. I'm CEO of SenzaGen since 1.5 months back, and I'll tell you about the exciting world on replacing animal testing with best-in-class in vitro technology. So I'm a new CEO since 1.5 months back. I have a broad commercial and leadership experience in life sciences, both from large companies and also smaller companies. I have worked with international organic growth and also acquisition-driven growth, where I've completed many M&A projects through my career. Previously, I served as CEO of Probi, where the business developed well during my 4 years as a CEO. I've also had other leading positions in strategy, marketing, and sales at GE, in Trelleborg, and both here in Sweden and in US. I've joined the SenzaGen team as a board director in 2018, and I have been working with designing a new strategy, which I'm now responsible for implementing. My educational background, I have a master's in chemical engineering and a bachelor in business administration. So, going back to SenzaGen, SenzaGen is delivering a vision about replacing and reducing animal testing with leading edge and cutting edge technology. The leading technology that we have developed is a genomics, machine learning, and cell biology-based assay, which we call GARD. It has superior accuracy and superior human predictability. We have developed both a skin sensitization test called GARD Skin and a air sensitization test called GARD Air. Both these assays are paving the way to replace animal testing. In addition to these two platforms, we are also offering other skin toxicity regulatory testing services like irritation testing and corrosion testing at our facilities in Lund. We've started our geographical expansion journey, and we are focusing on with a direct sales force on Europe and to a degree in North America. We have distributors and licensing partners of the GARD technology in Europe, North America, and also parts of Asia. We are focusing on broadening our platform with CRO technologies and now also with a new acquisition strategy, which I will tell you more about in a little bit. The market for in vitro toxicology testing is growing, and it's growing for several reasons. First of all, it's for regulatory reasons. So the regulatory environment is tightening up on animal testing. In Europe, it's forbidden to test on animals for new cosmetics. In US, we have several states going the same direction, and we also see that development in parts of Asia. Companies are taking an increased social responsibility these days and are also have this high on their agenda to reduce and replace animal testing. So from an ethical point of view, also animal testing is decreasing. Finally, there is a need just to have higher performance in the tests. The tests that are on the market today have too low predictability, too low human relevance. They are too costly and they are too time and they take too long time to run. So we have developed our growth strategy lately, and we do have a platform of organic growth that I will tell you more about, but we have recently added acquisition-driven growth, so I'll focus on that first. The accelerated growth strategy for SenzaGen means that we are looking at complementing on the back of our leading-edge technology with GARD. We're looking for companies up and down or on the side of us in the value chain that can broaden our test portfolio, broaden our customer listings, and that way deliver accelerated growth. We do see many small companies in the space and which have reached profitability stage and which are growing, and therefore we think that this is a great strategy to go for. On the back of this acquisition-driven growth strategy, we have an organic strategy. There, we are looking at, and I have this illustration of our strategy in the back of the corner, on the back, so I'll explain it from the bottom up. We're addressing a market for non-regulatory skin sensitization testing with the technology we've developed already. We have started to expand our available market by running a regulatory strategy where we are trying to get GARD adopted as a OECD test guideline standard test. That in combination with the CRO tests of skin irritation and skin toxicity enables us to target or address a market worth around $550 million. Going from that position, we can offer, by implementing other tests in our facility, address about a third of the market in vitro toxicology testing. To address the full market, which is estimated to be worth $6 billion, we do need to perform complementary acquisitions. And this is where we are going to search within the in vitro toxicology market. Our business model is made up in our sales strategy on for our organic growth is built up around three blocks. So first of all, we have direct sales for the GARD test. So we have built up a sales force which is marketing and selling our leading in vitro toxicology skin sensitization test. We have built up a platform of customers, and now we are complementing where we cannot reach customers directly. We are complementing with distributors. And to complement our in-house capacity of performing the GARD test, we have also a number of CROs to whom we have licensed the GARD technology. Once they become our license partners, they offer additional capacity to our in-house capacity, so that people have a choice where they can perform GARD tests. We've seen when we worked with our direct sales strategy, we have formed very deep relationships with a number of international pharma, cosmetics, chemical, and medical device companies. We've seen that there is an opportunity to broaden the portfolio. This we can do with a CRO offering. We will offer customers a number of CRO tests in, for instance, irritation and in cytotoxicity and in phototoxicity. These are endpoints which customers will tend to test when they are testing for skin sensitization. So it's a great way for us to generate upsell to clients that are already a GARD technology user. That is our organic expansion. We also want to make it easier for customers to use the results generated in the GARD assay in a regulatory setting by getting, as I alluded to earlier, the OECD test guideline status. The last part of our sales strategy is to have an active acquisition strategy. So here we're looking at expanding our offering, but also expanding our sales reach by adding already profitable and growing companies, and we have an active agenda on that since a couple of months back. I'll talk a little bit more about the GARD technology because it is on the back of that established position that it is possible for us to go on about this accelerated growth strategy. So we've developed a portfolio of GARD tests. We have 4 different tests in skin sensitization. We have the GARD Skin and the GARD Skin medical device test. Both of those offer a binary assessment, allergen, non-allergen on the skin. In addition to that, we've developed a risk assessment tool called GARD Potency. It can assess whether the compound or substance is mildly sensitizing or strongly sensitizing. On demand from our clients, we saw that in particular in the pharma and development-oriented companies, they do have a need for a dose-response curve. In other words, can they see where the point of departure is in the concentration of their compound? And that's exactly what we're doing with the GARD Skin dose response. It's the only in vitro tool available which is giving an opportunity to assess dose response. And we have launched it recently, and we do see a lot of interest in it, and also some new sales already. Finally, we have an air sensitization test called GARD Air, which is also a unique test. It identifies air sensitizing substances with a very high specificity, so it is a perfect opt-out tool in product development for clients. The GARD platform has a great performance and a very broad applicability. Both those are very important. So as you can see, traditional in vivo testing has problems. It has a low human relevance, about 70 to 75% accuracy. It's very costly. It is ethically and regulatory problematic, and also, you know, time-consuming in terms of having to apply for permits and or go through ethical committees to have an approval to commence your studies. In vitro, first-generation in vitro tests builds usually on one single biomarker, and we do know that the sensitization mechanism is complex, happens across several biomarkers in the cell, not on the skin, and hence they have their limitations. On GARD, we're looking at 200 biomarkers with our genomic signature. We have combined it with machine learning and human cells in a cell biology system. That's why we reach 90 to 95% accuracy. That's why customers can rely on the results from the GARD assay, which is very important for them. The second most important thing that we hear from our customers is that since GARD builds on a broad signature line, and it is also a very easy tool to use in the lab for us, we can look at compounds and substances which is not possible to assess with the other existing tests. For instance, it's possible to look at metal salts, surfactants, which are difficult to handle in other cases, and the other broad range of substances. So this broad applicability we know is important, both from a customer point of view, but also from a regulatory point of view. As I said earlier, we are looking at complementing our organic growth strategy with more CRO tests. We already launched 2 tests, irritation and corrosion, and we are looking forward to expanding further with medical device biocompatibility testing. Furthermore, we do see an opportunity to ourselves launch a number of other tests in phototoxicity and cytotoxicity. There is a range and battery of other tests that our clients are providing. There is some very interesting, exciting technology and nice companies in there, which we will be looking at when we are performing our acquisition growth strategy. We do see a great expansion in our customer base. So this year we have seen an increase in the number of customers, but we've also seen an increase in purchases from our existing customers, which we're very happy with. We do have also got feedback from our clients. That's on the back of that feedback that we've launched these complementary tests. We have expanded our distribution reach with new agreement with Enthalpy in US. And then we've also had nice collaborations with clients. We've had it with RIFIM, which is an industry organization with more than 70 different companies in the fragrance business internationally, but the organization is in US. That is one shop window project that we completed. But we've also had presentations and collaborations with Essity, one of the largest personal care and health tech companies, Sonova, which is a 2.6 billion Swiss franc health tech or med tech company, and Corteva, which is one of the largest agrochem companies in the world, formerly known as DuPont. So these are really high-level international customers and good examples of customers that are choosing to test on GARD. We are targeting a fragmented in vitro toxicology test market, but it is growing between 5 and 10%. We are active in the fastest growing segment of sensitization. We can address other segments organically in cytotoxicity and phototoxicity by implementing those. And then the other testing needs in this industry we can look at through acquisitions. The market, as I mentioned initially, is expanding, and it is driven by regulatory forces. It's getting forbidden to test on animals, ethical considerations and active corporate programs on reducing animal testing, scientific to improve the test accuracy and human relevance, and of course economic to have a quicker turnaround of test and less costly testing process. That was my last slide, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter, for a very interesting and consistent presentation. I would like to kick off the Q&A with the the positive opinion that you have gotten from the EU Reference Laboratory for Alternatives to Animal Testing. They have given a positive opinion on your GuardSkin product, and that is, of course, an important milestone towards the OECD approval. Could you elaborate on what this opinion would mean for, or does mean for SenzaGen?
Yes, of course, it's a very important milestone, as you say, for the development of a company and towards full regulatory acceptance of a Guard platform. So the opinion, which states that GuardSkin is recommended to proceed and become an OECD test guideline test, is highly important for us for two reasons. First of all, it's an independent international expert group sorting in under EURL ECVAM, and they have independently issued this, which gives us a lot of weight to our test. That's the first reason, and then the second reason is it's a very clear recommendation that GuardSkin should proceed to become an OECD test guideline test, which, when that happens, will make it much easier for our customers to use the results from GuardSkin in their regulatory processes.
Great. And speaking of tests, you have expanded the range of your tests that you offer clients. Can you say something about how that has been received by the market?
Yeah, so we launched the first tests this summer, and we already have some projects with clients who have bought these tests, and it's nice to see that they've also invested in these tests together with a Guard test, which is sort of proving our hypothesis that this will be a great cross-sell with Guard.
And how do you get new clients, and what about, do you keep the clients that you get, or do you have to go out and hunt for new clients all the time?
Yeah, well, David, we are still in a build-up phase when it comes to building a good customer base. But we have now gotten some ways on this journey. We have more and more clients, and we have seen every year we get more new clients than we did the year before or the half year before. But what we've also seen recently is that the customers that bought or invested in Guard testing a year ago, to a large degree, comes back and tests again. So we're becoming part of our testing scheme. And that, I think, is very important, that we're not only focusing on selling a single test, we're trying to acquire customers.
And you recently announced a new acquisition strategy going forward. So 2 questions there. What type of companies are you looking to acquire? And what should we as investors expect from this new growth strategy in, like, fuzzy words?
Okay, thank you for that clarification of a question, David. So we do, as I said, see an opportunity to start acquiring companies that complement SenzaGen in the in vitro toxicology space. And we see that the targets that we're looking for can be downstream of SenzaGen, in other words, like a CRO who are performing a number of tests already and that have reach to customers that we haven't been able to reach ourselves. That would be a great acquisition for us. It can also be a test developer who is offering a test which is also then complementing and making our portfolio a little broader, making us more relevant in the industry. And when it comes to the industry and how it looks and so on, it's pretty fragmented. There are a number of smaller companies. I think that is an interesting space for us to start looking at, where we do see opportunities. We put 2 prerequisites for making an acquisition. The company needs to be profitable and it needs to grow. So that's on the type of companies we're looking for. When it comes to what can an investor expect from our growth strategy, I think it's the name of it says it. Investors should expect quicker growth from SenzaGen, both organic growth and inorganic growth. That's why we call it an accelerated growth strategy.
I see. Thank you. And given your past experience from places like, for instance, Probi, it makes sense that you're going in this direction and you have the proven track record for it. So thank you once again, Peter. It was a pleasure having you here, and good luck on your journey.
Thank you very much, David.